Hello. I think I am live. I'm gonna go ahead and double check to make sure that I am streaming across the board. I believe I am. If you are with me live, gonna put hashtag team live. If you're on the rerun, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Uh, uh, and let me know. Put hashtag team rerun. This video and stream is sponsored by Ecamm. Thank you so much, Ecamm fam. I am super excited because today I'm gonna show you exactly why you're posting, you're promoting, you're putting ads out even, and no one is biting. Your audience isn't taking action. You explain your offer very clearly, but for some reason, the content isn't converting. Whether that's on your social media, your podcast, your ads, there's a really interesting strategy that comes from a long time ago, decades ago, that we've actually started using it with a lot of our clients that is seeing a massive conversion rate. And in this stream, I want to show you exactly what that is. Here's the truth. There are people who are coming in at different angles in when they encounter your business. Some people don't even know you exist, while others are comparing you to your competitors and asking, should I go with you or should I go with someone else? People have very different perspectives and mindsets and are at very different stages in their buying journey. And if we create the same kind of content, what's going to happen is we're going to miss out on reaching every person, no matter what their stage is. So if you're ready for today's training, I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and jump in. Like I said, my name is Sean Q. I am a marketing strategist and co-owner of Next Step Social and Podcasting. We are a marketing agency that supports you with your organic social media and podcast production needs. So let's go ahead and jump into today's training. Let me know if you can see my screen. Go ahead and let me know in the chat. Does it ever feel like this where you're like putting all of this effort into social and you're spending hours to make sure that the content's correct? Or maybe you're just like doing it on the whim. Maybe you're not even spending a ton of hours. You're just doing it and like hopefully it's like kind of shotgun method. You're blasting it on social, you're blasting it out, and hopefully it hits the mark. But then what happens is there's no sales. Nothing ends up happening. The bottom line isn't impacted in the least. Um, I love Shark Tank. If you're a Shark Tank fan, let me know in the chat. I can watch it like literally all day, every day. It's pretty awesome. Uh, this is really frustrating. And so a lot of our clients come to us saying, hey, I'm doing the work. I have these social media platforms. I have this podcast, but it's not actually leading to any sales. Here's a In today's training, we're going to talk about why your marketing isn't converting and specifically something called the 5 levels of awareness and how to speak to each one. Here's the good news. You're actually not being ignored. You're simply speaking the wrong language. I mean, I want you to imagine you're in a room and there are 5 people and it's a big party and everybody speaks a different language except for you. Are you ignoring them? No. You just can't really get involved and participate in the conversation because you don't know how to interact with them. So, what we want to do today is show you how to speak the right language. Most people aren't ready to hear what you're saying, not because your offer is bad, but because they're at a different level of awareness. You're trying to sell the cure to someone who doesn't even know they're sick yet. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 levels of awareness, a framework that will completely shift how you think about your marketing, messaging, and conversion. Once you understand this, you will never wonder, what should I post again? Or what should I post today? Now, I didn't create this. This was actually discovered and created by a guy named Eugene Schwartz in the 1960s. And he actually wrote about this in his book called Breakthrough Advertising. What's wild is that 60 years later, it's still the foundation for how we write persuasive marketing today. Schwartz discovered that something that most entrepreneurs ignore today. And here's the thing: if you're taking notes, write this down. People don't start at the same place. People don't all start in the same place. Some are totally unaware they have a problem, while others are already comparing solutions. If you talk to both groups the same way, one is going to be confused and the other is going to be bored. So, this is going to be your roadmap to moving people one step closer. I'm going to go through each level and show you exactly what the buyer audience is thinking, what kind of content makes sense that you should be writing to move them to level 2, and some of the things that they're doing, what their online behavior might be at this level. So, the very first level, if you're taking notes, is level 1, completely unaware. They don't even know there's a problem. Okay. Level 1, unaware, is life's just hard. That's normal, right? They're living in pain, but they haven't named it yet. They're not searching for you because they don't even know you exist and they don't even know they need you. And if you talk about your program and features, what's going to happen is you're going to lose them instantly. They don't even know they have a problem. They need a real estate agent. They need an attorney like you. They need a chiropractor like you. They're like, I don't really care about your services because I don't even think I have a problem that would require me to buy from you. At level 1, your content should wake them up. Somebody say, wake up, create curiosity, and name what they can't. In other words, here's a couple of like level 1 pieces of content. For an attorney, Cassie also thought real estate planning is only, or estate planning is only for the wealthy until she lost thousands in probate fees that she never expected. Notice the story that's being told. Real estate agent, you might not realize it, but waiting for the perfect market could be costing you more than buying right now. For a chiropractor, for 7 months, Dan woke up tired, tense, or foggy, but thought it's just age. It wasn't. His body was trying to tell him something. I want to point out a couple of things here. Notice the stories that we're telling. The greatest content that you can tell online are stories. I want you to think about our evolution as a species and how we used to gather around fire pits and tell each other stories of the hunt and stories of the gathering and farming and stories of ancestors and generations before us and stories of the stars and of the mountains and of the thunder and lightning. These stories captivated our heart. And what's great is there's a psychological principle here. When you tell a story, for example, when I tell you, like, my mom 3 years ago, she was at the store and the craziest thing happened. Now, notice I'm just making this story up, but you immediately, your brain actually started to think very differently. Your brain started to get activated in different regions. Stories captivate attention. They wake people up. They create curiosity. Now you want to know, hey, what's the craziest thing that happened with your mom at that store? But it also names what they can't. In this stage, they know there's maybe pain, but they can't really name it. So your job is to tell a story that names what they can't, that identifies the pain they might be experiencing. Okay? Level 2. Level 2 is something called problem aware. This is where they know something isn't working. They know they have pain, but they don't really understand it and they can't identify, like, what am I missing here? I know there's something wrong, but I don't really know the deeper reason for that pain. Right? They can feel the frustration and are searching for clarity. They may blame the wrong thing, right? Like, I just need better time management. I just need to stretch more, I just need to go to LegalZoom if it's an attorney, or I just need to go to, oh, I don't need Redfin, I need Zillow. They're looking at the wrong thing, right? But they do have a problem and they're aware there's a problem that I'm facing. So your content at this level, when you're speaking to a level 2 audience member, your content should describe their pain better than they can and introduce the cause. So here's a couple of examples. As an attorney, you know you need a will, right? That's the pain, but you're overwhelmed by all the legal jargon. The truth, you don't need a complicated plan. You need a clear one that protects your family. If you're a real estate agent, here's an example. You've been scrolling listings for months, but nothing feels right, right? That's the pain. It's not your budget. It's that no one's helping you align your home search with your lifestyle. That's the true cause. You're a chiropractor. You've tried pain meds, massages, even stretching, right? But the ache keeps coming back. It's not a muscle issue, it's your nervous system stuck in stress mode. Right? We're naming the true cause. I want you to notice a couple of things here. If you can describe their pain better than they can, they will automatically start believing in your solution. I want you to imagine when you've gone to a dentist, and I remember one time I went to the dentist and I was feeling a little bit of pain in my tooth. And so the dentist was like, "Okay, let me tap on it a little bit." He wasn't creating more pain. He was just identifying and kind of diagnosing what the pain is. He's like, tap, 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 tap. And he's like, "Hey, when you bite on hard things, you probably feel like a sudden sharp pain, right?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yes." And then he's like, "Well, when you're chewing like softer things, like say mashed potatoes or ice cream, it's not sharp, but there's still that dull ache that you're feeling, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, oh my gosh." And he's like, "When you wake up in the morning, it's almost like your jaws are really sore, probably. Like, is that right?" And I'm like, "Yes, this is like, yes." He's like, "Okay, I know exactly what the issue is." Notice no matter what he says as the solution, I already believe him because he understood the pain and he described it better than I could. That's the goal. That's level 2. So then level 3, once we've moved someone from level 1 unaware into problem aware, the next stage they're going to be a solution aware, right? Here's where they say, "I know I need help, but what's the best way to solve this?" I know I need help, but what's the best way to solve this? What they're doing right now is they're likely Googling, reading, comparing. They're probably asking friends and family, "Hey, have you ever dealt with this? How did you solve it?" They know what the problem is. Now they're trying to find the right solution type. They might be evaluating coaching, therapy, software, programs, just in general. And they're not really comparing anything yet, but they're just trying to find, okay, how can I actually solve this? At level 3, your content should differentiate you, show your framework or methodology, and also show why it works better. So here's a couple of examples. As an attorney, you can say something like, "Online templates can't protect your family the way a personalized estate plan can. We help you craft one that actually works when it matters most." We're differentiating between, say, LegalZoom and you as an attorney, and we're describing why it matters, why your process works better, because it's personalized and it actually works. Real estate agent. Big search sites show homes. That's a tongue twister. Big search sites show homes. I want you to say that 5 times fast. We show strategy. We help you buy smart, negotiate strong, and make every move a wealth building decision. Notice we're differentiating from the big search sites, and we're showing them why it works better: buying smart, negotiating stronger, and making wealth building decisions. Chiropractor. Chiropractic isn't just about cracking backs. Our network based method retrains your nervous system so your body learns to stay relaxed on its own. Catch that. Chiropractic isn't just about cracking backs. So we're differentiating between those chiropractors that do just crack backs and our process, which is network based methods. And why it works better, because we're retraining the nervous system to relax and stay relaxed on its own. Level 4 is all about being product aware. Okay, what they're saying is, "Okay, I like what you're saying, but will it really work for me? I like what you're saying, but will it really work for me?" They've heard of your programs now, they're aware you exist, and they've heard of others like it. They're in the, like, should I trust you phase. They're deciding between all of their options and they want proof that yours works. They're asking, "Are you a scam? Is this true? Can I trust that you're going to actually help me?" At level 4, your content should build trust and show results and relatable transformations. So, as an attorney, here's an example. We've helped over 400 Colorado families avoid probate, and every single one said the same thing: I wish we'd done this sooner. As a real estate agent, the example was last year, 87% of our buyers won their first offer because we combine data with negotiation psychology. And chiropractor, an example is here's what happened when John came to us after years of migraines. Within 3 visits, his headaches were gone and his energy was back. Now, the key thing here is obviously to be honest because, again, we're building trust here. So identify what are the trust factors that you can incorporate? What are the credentials, testimonials, case studies? How can you show someone that, of course, it'll work for you because it also worked for John, Jane, Joe, Danielle, etc. This is where you really want to showcase those before and after transformations. And final level is level 5, where people are most aware. In other words, they're saying, I want this. I just need to know that this is the right time. They already believe in you. They just need to feel safe and motivated to act. Most of the time, they're looking for some kind of incentive that will justify their action. In other words, have you ever gone to the store, or maybe someone you love has gone to the store and said, oh, I had to have it because it was 50% off, right? The incentive, 50% off, was what justified their purchasing decision. I had to have it because it was 50% off. And logic is the logical part of their kind of processing is done. It's really about emotion and urgency at this point. At that says level 4. At level 5, your content should really incentivize people. That's it. Incentivize people. At level 5, your content should incentivize action. So here's a couple of examples. As an attorney, enrollment for our fall estate planning week closes on Friday. So now there's urgency. Protect your family before year end changes take effect. Real estate agent example is we have 3 new listings coming this weekend that haven't hit the market yet. Message me today to get early access. The incentive here is early access. And the chiropractor, we're offering a new patient evaluation this month only. If your body's been asking for help, this is your sign to listen. The notice, the urgency, the timeline to take action today, and the incentive we're creating for people to reach out now. That's the 5 levels of awareness. Level 1, unaware, you need to spark curiosity through story. Number 2, problem aware, you want to build empathy and name what they and really be able to describe their pain better than they can. Solution aware, you want to show your methodology, differentiate yourself. Product aware, you want to build trust and show that it can work for them. And most aware, you want to create safe urgency and incentive to take action. When we're taking a look at our client's content strategy, typically what we're doing is we're identifying, okay, what kind of content are we going to be publishing that's going to move people from unaware to problem aware? And how can we fit that strategically in the timeline for their campaign? Because here's kind of a tip. Marketing is not a social media post. Right? That's one very, very, very small tactic in a much bigger campaign. Marketing, it's a long-term campaign. I want you to think about like presidential elections. Somebody doesn't just announce their president and then that's the end of it. No, there's a campaign that's typically 18 months long, at least in the US, where they are every single day doing something to move people forward so that on the final day of the campaign, which is election day, they get enough votes to win the office, whatever the office is. So we want to think, okay, what do we actually want from people this month? And how can we build a campaign, understanding the 5 levels of awareness, that will drive people to that action we want people to have? That's where marketing campaigns come in. And that's when we're working with clients. A lot of times we're building that strategy. This is one of the frameworks we leverage to build that strategy. So here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to ask yourself, are you being strategic with your content? Or are you just kind of posting and praying? I'm curious, isn't it time that you became more strategic with your content? Isn't it time that you became that weird case study where everyone's like, oh my gosh, every single time you post, it makes sense and you're getting clients from this? What the heck? Well, here's the good news. Your goal isn't to create random content, it's to meet someone where they are and move them one level closer to belief and purchasing. Is it time you turn your content into clients? If your marketing feels random or inconsistent, you're one conversation away from clarity. We open a few strategy consultation spots each month for brands ready to shift from content chaos to consistent conversion. If you're interested, let's talk about what's really holding your marketing back. There's a link in the description that'll give you a slot on our calendar and allow us to identify the gaps and show you what you can do for some quick wins and what a marketing campaign might look like for you and your business. My name is Sean Q. Let me know, was that good? Was that helpful? I absolutely love teaching this stuff. Love even more incorporating and implementing this stuff for our clients, and it's absolutely so much fun. But that's the 5 levels of awareness. Let me know in the comments below. Was this helpful? Do you have any questions? I'd love to know so that I can answer in another video. Let me know what questions you have in the comments below. My name is Sean Q. I am the one of the marketing strategists and a co-owner of Next Step Social and Podcasting, and I am so excited to continue to work with you on making sure that your content actually converts. I'll see you in the next stream.